Hi, it's Alaska Granny. As preppers, we want to stock up on the things that we want to have always, that we never want to run out of, and we need to think about all of the categories of supplies that we want. We know we need to have water, food, and then let's think about some health and first aid supplies, and that's the area that I am working on today. As preppers, we like to have backups to the items that we're using. Say you use a can of beans, hopefully you have some more put away in your prepper pantry. What I like to do is if I open a package of something, I like to make sure that I have another one on the shelf, and if I don't, as soon as I take that one, then I write it down so that I can replace it, because you want to always be able to go into your stockpile and be able to find the things that you need. The last few months we've seen shortages on all types of over-the-counter medications, and so if you use any of those items, be on the lookout and make sure that you have the supplies that you need. It can be far more expensive to stock up on medications and first aid supplies, so sometimes that's something that you maybe want to get one at a time, one a week. You don't necessarily go to the store and go, I want these 10 items, because that can be very expensive. If you can afford it, go ahead and do that. But sometimes we can't afford to do that, or the items just aren't available. And so if we can budget to pick something up every now and then we can have a nice handy supply. Here's a look at the first aid supplies and the hygiene items that I stocked up on over the last few shopping trips. I picked up a bottle of 70% isopropyl alcohol. Alcohol is great for all kinds of wounds. It's also good for sanitizing things if you need to wipe off a faucet or something and you don't have hand sanitizer. Alcohol is also flammable, so you can even use it to make a little emergency stove. So there's all kinds of good reasons to have alcohol on hand. During the pandemic, we needed hand sanitizer and it wasn't available anywhere. If you had some alcohol, you could make your own hand sanitizer, and I'll put a link to a video on how to do that in case you're interested. Most of us are over hand sanitizer by this time, plus it's available again, but I'll put a link to that video just in case you want to make some or have that information for yourself for a later date. Next, I bought a bottle of daytime cough syrup. If you've had any coughs or colds the last few months, then you're probably aware that cough medicine has not been available in any store anywhere. And so luckily, I know that I had some in my stockpile, so I was able to go in there and get some. Cough syrups are the type of medication that when you get sick, you don't want to go out to the store and have to hunt from store to store to try to get this. You want to take your medicine and stay home, go to bed, snuggle with a blanket, have a hot cup of tea with some honey and lemon, and just rest until you feel better. So if you have the medications that you might need in an upcoming illness, having those on hand is a real comfort, knowing that you're prepared to take care of yourself and your family. If you have small children, make sure you get the remedies that they need in the child formula, and then you can have the adult and the child formulas, but store them separately. Put the children's medications in one box, put the adult medications in another box, so late at night if you reach for some, you won't accidentally choose the wrong one and perhaps accidentally overdose your child by giving them the adult medication rather than the child's medication. It's simple to avoid those problems just by keeping them. You can even have them in the same shelf, but have them in a separate box, one labeled for children, one labeled for adults. Next, I bought some nasal saline solution. If you get a stuffy nose, this can be a great way to help you get breathing better. Next, I bought some Breathe Right strips. These saved many a night at my house. My sweetheart, who recently passed away, was quite the snorer, and so these helped us have peaceful nights. Breathe Right strips are handy to have on hand anyway, because say you get a stuffy nose, even if you're not snoring, it's so hard to go to sleep you can't breathe. You can apply a Breathe Right strip right onto your nose. It helps open up your passages and you can have better rest. If you ever get a cough that goes into your chest, those are so hard, they're uncomfortable, you're coughing and coughing, you can't get rid of all that congestion in your chest. Reach for some Mucinex, have that on hand, so that if somebody does get that deep chest cold, you can give them some relief. So if you're concerned with having one of those deep chest coughs where you're full of mucus, have some Mucinex with your supplies. Stock up on fever reducers, pain relievers, everything from Tylenol, Advil, Aleve. I recently bought an additional bottle of the low-dose aspirin, which is great to keep your heart healthy. Cuts and scrapes happen all the time. The last thing you want is say the water stops running and you can't wash your wounds properly. So you want to make sure you have some Band-Aids. I bought another box of Band-Aids. These are the flexible fabric. They stay on much, much better than the plastic ones. So if you can get the flexible fabric, it's worth the extra money to buy them because they work so much better. They're also a little more waterproof, but then they just stay on and work better. So I'm a big fan of flexible fabric Band-Aids. I was out somewhere and there was a booth handing out toothbrushes. Yes, please, I'll take a free toothbrush. So make sure you have some backups, especially if anybody gets sick in your house. Once they start to get better, you need to pitch the old toothbrush so you don't continue to reinfect with your germy toothbrush. Something you can also do is mix up some alcohol and water in a spray bottle and you can spray it over your toothbrush. Or if you have some hydrogen peroxide, you can pour it in a little dish and soak your toothbrush in that to help it be sanitized. So while it's great to know how to sanitize your toothbrush, it's also great to have a backup so that you can just replace it. I bought 3 packages of dental floss because it's very important that you have good dental health. Did you realize as you're flossing your teeth, you're actually making all of your body healthier? If you get an infection in your gums, you have to realize that your blood pumps clear through your entire body in a minute. So if you have something that gets into your blood in your mouth because you're not taking good care of your teeth, then it's going into your body and it can actually make your heart sick. It can make other places in your body sick if you get infection going clear through your body. So having good dental health is a great way to make sure that you have overall health. Here's something I bought for myself, moisturizing cream for super dry skin. Because in this winter time, the air gets so dry, my skin is completely parched. And summer's coming, guess what? We're outside in the sun, the dry wind, and we're going to have dry skin again. So keep your skin hydrated. It helps it look better, it helps it feel better, and then you don't get chapped skin and you're scratching on it, and then you can actually make a sore in your skin by scratching at it. You want to keep your skin in good health, nice and soft. I picked up a bag of cotton balls and a box of cotton swabs. These are just great for overall cleaning your body, keeping yourself fresh and clean. And guess what? They're also great to add to, say, petroleum jelly, and you have a fire starter. Because summer's coming, we might want to be starting up some campfires, fire pits, who knows? So having these on hand not only are good to keep you clean and healthy, they can also help keep you warm if you want to build a fire. So kind of take an inventory and an overlook of the items that you use to keep yourself healthy and well, and see if there's something that you don't have on hand that you wish you did. Think of all the areas, everything from headaches, runny noses, chapped lips, sore throat, upset stomach, diarrhea, even having like athlete's foot. If there's any of those things that you need, have those in your supply so that if you do become sick, you don't have to worry about trying to go out to the store, trying to find a store that's open, trying to find a store that has the item that you want. You want to be able to take care of yourself no matter what happens. Then you don't have to worry if the car doesn't have enough gas, or it's late at night, or it's storming, or there's a power outage and the stores are closed. You have avoided catastrophe by just having simple things on hand so that you can take care of yourself. Tell us what items you're adding to your first aid and hygiene supplies so that you can make sure that you have what you need going forward, and that'll help us all have ideas of other things we might want to add to our stockpile too. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.